Hello, fam, faves, likes, and loves, and those souls I have yet to meet. It's Jeffrey DeShawn, the Inspired Muse, with your Tuesday morning pep talk. Now, this week's pep talk is themed Mind Over Matter. Miss me with that. Mind over matter. Miss me with that. Have you ever found yourself in an environment, whether that be in work or in a professional community setting or just out at the grocery store, and there was energy swirling, a disagreement happening with the cashier, a disagreement happening with the waitress or the sales clerk, and it was just in close proximity to you, or in the office, a disagreement happening between two colleagues, and it was so in close proximity to you that you could feel the energy, that you could feel it encroaching on your space and trying to draw you in, despite the fact that it did not involve you. Have you experienced that? Well, I witnessed in the store the other day a woman in line, and there was some just turmoil starting to swirl up, disagreement between two people waiting in line, and then one person started to walk away, and it got closer to where the woman, and I was standing behind the woman, was, and I just heard her go, "Miss me with that." She looked over to the right and went, "Miss me with that." And I said, "Ooh." And as the person was walking closer this way, making noise and everything, they turned. As soon as they turned, after she had said, "Miss me with that," they turned right back around and went the other way. I said, "Oh my goodness." She is controlled and mastering the energy around her and the mindset in which she's going forward in her day. She said, "Miss me with that." She barely even looked in the direction because she felt and knew what was coming, because she'd been hearing, right, the turmoil. We all experience that, times where we're out and about, or again, in our own lives, and maybe even in our own house with our children, or it could be even between our spouse and a parent, or a spouse and a sibling, what have you, where it's encroached on our space and we feel like we got to get in it. We feel like we have to now take on the characteristics, the behaviors of the atmosphere around us, which is often in these situations chaotic, tumultuous, right? But what that woman showed me in that moment was, no, you don't. You don't have to do it. And so later on that week, I found myself out in an establishment, and there was turmoil brewing between the customer and the cashier. And it was in real close proximity, right? Waiting to get food items. And the customer and the cashier were about to get into a physical blows. And and I felt it encroaching, and I just said, "You know what? Mind over matter. Miss me with all that." And as it started to seem to get louder, and just then the person turned and looked and began to walk away and took the conversation in a different direction. I said, "Yes, miss me with that." There's a lot swirling in this world right now. There's a lot of projection of feelings. There's a lot of feelings because of all the loss that we have experienced, the rejection that folks are experiencing and trying to find jobs, and all kinds of relationship dynamics with family and community coming out of COVID. And we may feel like we have to jump in everything. There's so much swirling about us that we must take on the energies of those around us, particularly when they are chaotic, right? Particularly when they are just, it's an emergency all the time. Well, I'm here to tell you today, no, you do not. This week, this month, the rest of the year, you can say, "Mind over matter, miss me with that." Whenever you find yourself in an environment or situation where the energy around you is becoming something other than what you desire to feel and experience, not only do you have the physical power within yourself to remove yourself at any time needed for self-care, particularly in the current environment of the world, you have the power and privilege to take self-care and take time and space away from that environment. But you also have the privilege to say to yourself, "No, no, no, mind over matter. I'm not taking that on. Miss me with that." So when you feel it the energy beginning to amass and shift and turn and go negative or go chaotic or go, turn into turmoil, Just tell yourself, no, mind over matter. Miss me with that. And refocus your energy away from that thing that's trying to distract you, the noise, the mirage of anger or fear. And focus that back onto yourself and what you have set out for yourself in this day. And you know what I'm going to say. When you do that and you say, mind over matter, miss me with the noise of the fear, the anger, the frustration, the fighting, the too much, whatever's going on around you that you don't want to be a part of you. When you say mind over matter, miss me with that, from there forward, all things are possible. And nothing is out of reach for you because you haven't limited yourself by getting entangled in that which was around you and noisy that was not of you. So yes, you just get to say, next time it's swirling and the noise is starting to go and somebody's starting to fight and somebody else is having a disagreement and you find yourself in the presence of it, mind over matter, miss me with that. And from there, your day is clear to go forward and all things are possible and nothing is out of reach for you because you have said, miss me with that. I'm Jeffrey DeShawn, the Inspired Muse, and that has been your Tuesday Morning Pep Talk.